Oh yes, we're milking this as much as possible. Thank you all very much for checking out my horrible content, by the way. But to be fair, it makes sense to make this video. The bosses are important for progressing the story, as well as collecting the Chaos Emeralds for the final battle of the game. Plus, I needed a break from the more inferior Boost game that I made a video on recently. Anyways, we've got 7 bosses to get through. How about we just get the time meter out of the way now? Yeah, that's good? Cool, let's get it over with. What the hell happened here? The cutscene before this battle is insane clickbait, with me thinking this final boss was gonna be insane, and then we get this crap. Why is this so bad? Besides the side characters you've saved throughout your adventure never shutting up!
That looks like a homing shot! Just keep dodging so you don't get stuck! Looks like time energy is building up! Switch with the Y button! The laser! Watch out! It's a homing shot! Careful, Sonic! Time! Slow the time's going to... Look out, Sonic! It's a warping armor! You all just shut the up.
During this, the boss just goes on and on and on and on, eating time, you could say.
This guy stinks!
The attacks from it are pointless, so is the constant switching from 3D back to 2D, depending on the Sonic, because nothing is going to happen here. And then, when you do get to attack this thing, I swear, it's like a 50-50 shot that you actually reach this thing's center to damage it by hugging it. The fireball part at the end is awesome, but I'm not wasting 5 to 10 minutes of my time watching the time meter flex its time muscles at us before accepting its ass beating. What an anti-climax to one of the best Sonic games ever made. Right, with that said, I can easily say that every other boss coming in this video ranges from good to banger. Number 6, Metal Sonic. So with the rest of these bosses, I had to go for the same tactic that I used in the classic video. All of them are quality and a lot of fun, so I decided to look at it a different way. How much is there happening in the stage? With that said, there's not too much going on with this boss. A few electrifying chases, dodging a couple objects bashed towards you, and a few hits to Metal's noggin later, and... Jesus Christ, Sonic. Yeah, this boss kind of just comes and goes, but it's still fun to play. It just didn't do as much as the other 5 bosses, although, to be fair though, it's not like the classic bosses have as much creative freedom as the modern ones due to the gameplay styles. And unfortunately, this continues into number 5 with the Death Egg Robot. The music alone made me want to put this boss higher, but again, the 4 modern bosses are just able to do so much more than the classic ones. And sadly, there's nowhere near enough bosses to make 2 separate videos like with the regular stages. Just know that just because the 2 classic bosses are below the bottom of this list doesn't mean they aren't fun. After bashing Eggman's ass a couple times, I am serious about that, you've got to avoid the robot's arms and make them crash into these bombs to leave it stunned so you can jump on the robot's head to take down the giant machine. I love how the music gets more intense the further you get through the fight. Adding further tension to the situation, it's definitely an unfair number 5 this, because this boss does deserve better. It is what it is, unfortunately. Number 4, Shadow the Hedgehog, the first modern boss in the game, and it's a pretty damn good one, as well as a very simple one, being more of a race than an actual boss. After an awesome reimagining of the Adventure 2 intro,
Hey, that's pretty good.
you and Shadow race to get your hands on this orb thing to increase your power levels for the final blow. Once you're fully charged, you use your speed to blast asteroids at Shadow's back and then try to tear his back apart afterwards. Mario! The path is well designed, multiple different routes to take in order to try and get to the orb the quickest. Not to mention, Live and Learn starts playing when you're fully charged.
The way.
But it's more of a race than an actual boss to me. I mean, that's what you are doing, racing Shadow to get to the orb the quickest. But it's executed very well regardless. Number 3, Perfect Chaos. Right, first off, talk about a design upgrade. Look at that giant water lizard here. Full on menacing. And I really like what they've done here. I'd like to take a page out of this comment from the modern video and implement that idea here. When you faced Perfect Chaos back in the day, you went in as Super Sonic, but now the years have gone by. Sonic has become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. He doesn't need the super form anymore. He's gonna take this threat out with his speed alone. The music further shows this. It doesn't sound as thrilling as the original Open Your Heart, if you know what I mean. This ain't the final battle for Sonic this time. Nah. He's still got a long way to go after this. Perfect Chaos is just a bump in the road. So, you have to use Sonic Speed to rise up into the snake and attack its brain, all while avoiding its water attacks including whirlpools and damn hydro pumps, before Chaos goes on the defensive, trying to block your way with platforms and take your speed away from you. Unfortunately, this part of the stage keeps the boss from going anywhere higher than number 3. I said this in the classic video. The platforming can be very janky. Basically, it can be very easy to fall off if you get stuck on a platform. A similar thing can actually happen at the end of the Perfect Chaos boss too. Maybe I'll talk about that in the future. I'm referring to these platforms, especially the final couple. They will catch you out, drag you under, and poof! That S rank is gone. That little negative aside, it's a great boss and deserves to be in the top 3 in this list. Number 2, Silver the Hedgehog, vengeance time for the boy. You all know what I'm referring to. They needed to do Silver justice here, and they bloody smashed it out of the park, didn't they? Instantly telling us he's a threat with this awesome intro, with Sonic having to pull everything he's learned from parkour class just to avoid getting splattered here. And then the fight begins, which involves you homing onto debris to attack Silver, running onto slides made of debris to attack him again, avoiding buildings and awesome looking psycho cuts as if it's a Mega Gallade coming for your ass. And that finale, holy would you look at that? He's literally saying,
I'm going to kill you and then kill you again.
What a redemption arc for the lad. Does this make up for the 06 fight? Absolutely, in my eyes. A-star boss this. Take a bow, Silver. You had the number 1 taken away from you unfairly here, because Eggman was desperate after the final boss flopped this list, and thus decided to bring back one of his coolest creations, and then we never saw it again after this. Look at this intro! Eggman is literally ready to tuck us in, flop us out the bed, burn the bed, and then hit us with all the missiles.
Bit of a weird analogy.
The Egg Dragoon is carrying firepower above its power of fire. Huge missiles, flamethrowers, that ice power up from tabletop racing, a damn freezer. And if all that fails, he'll just take a page out of Perfect Chaos's book by booking it through a portal, knowing you'll chase him, and take away your speed from you. Now you gotta pray to the airbenders if you're gonna survive this one. It is a classic Sonic vs Eggman fight, and it was awesome to see the Dragoon get used against Sonic's speed, considering you were facing this thing with the Werehog in Unleashed. The music being a banger just excels this boss to even bigger heights. Legit, I would have been happy with this just being the final boss, because what a waste of time the time meter was. Speed, tension, grind rails, impending doom! This boss has it all, and deserves its place as the king of the generation's bosses. You know, when it's not glitching out. Like, it's kind of easy to find glitches in this. But look, either way, king of the generation's bosses, that's a high prestige given what game we're talking about here. Less said about the Forces fight, the better. Oh, now I gotta go back and rank that game's modern stages.
I'm about to actually lose my damn mind.